Hey, we have a look at Justin Trudeau's first 2019 election ad. Then, a picture's worth 1,000 words. And Raj Grewal's fact check? This is the Canada Poly Report. Good morning, everybody. It's not the afternoon yet. So Justin Trudeau has released his first, that I've seen, campaign ad for 2019. And this is the first 30 seconds of it. And
2015, we made you
subject you to his voice for that long because it's just so grating. But it's all Justin Trudeau. It's a montage of Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau's done this. Justin Trudeau's done that. Look, he's got a microphone. He's on a crane. Oh, there he is. Oh, my goodness. And then back to his smiling face. Look how happy he is. It's incredible because this is what the Liberals think is going to win. This is the guy they're pinning their hopes and dreams on. And I have to tell them, this guy doesn't have electoral reform. This guy doesn't have marijuana legalization. This guy's got 3 years of open borders and absolutely terrible governorship. And the tiny little deficits he promised us for building Canada, for infrastructure projects that he hasn't been able to get going, all of that money, $20 billion deficits, that's been going out of Canada, hasn't been spent in Canada. And instead of apologizing for this, he's doubling down and taxing us more. Oh, yes, we need to tax more so we can send more money out of Canada. That's the 2019 Liberal election campaign. But if you were to just listen to the Liberals, man, everything is peachy, keen, lovely, and Justin Trudeau, isn't he a wonderful leader? Look at him. Look at his face. Don't you want to look at this face for another 4 years? Not even a little tiny bit. October 2019 can't come fast enough. Okay, here's CBC News reporting, because we're in Canada, after all, and CBC News is the Canadian broadcaster, and I understand that they're biased. I've been telling you for the entire time I've had my channel, which is coming up to a year now, that they're biased. But here's the CBC reporting on Venezuela, because this is what we've got. This is what's being told to people, and this is what people look at as fact, so I'm going to use it. The Lima Group embraces Venezuelan opposition leader Guaido, calls on military to quit Maduro. Okay, so I just thought I got this picture sent to me this morning by a forum member, and if you don't know what the forum is, it's CanadaPoly.com. Come and join us. We'd love to have you. But this is a hilarious picture. Like, this is a very serious situation, right? The Western governments, the Lima Group, the United States, well, the United States, I guess, is considering military intervention, maybe. Miss Freeland is very cagey about that in the interview I'm about to show you. But man, this picture, she must be super happy with it? I don't know. The dress is a little tight. The hair's a little flipped. Look at the smile. Whew. I'm no fashion critic, but maybe a pantsuit? No, that's too Hillary Clinton. Okay, so here's the interview, and I'm not going to go through all of the Venezuela stuff. I just want to show you how, this is an interesting interview. At 3:38, they're discussing basically regime change, and the Canadian government's perspective is, we've recognized Guaido, and now it's only a matter of time before Maduro steps down, and he's going to step down willingly, and everything's peachy keen, everything's just fine. Yes, I've used peachy keen twice in this video, and I'm going to keep it. But here's where the reporter presses Freeland on her position on that. And Freeland says, "Oh yeah, definitely, sure, it's going to happen. They're going to transition from a dictatorship to a democracy." But she goes off on this kind of fantasy tangent of this 30 years of watching this process happen, when in fact she's dodging the question. So I'm just going to show you that. Link is in the description. You can watch the whole interview for yourself. It's a terrible interview for Freeland. It's really bad. She dodges all sorts of questions and is very condescending when dodging them. Like, I can't speak about that. It's very. Ugh. Here she is answering about Maduro just voluntarily vacating power.
Up for the return to democracy in our hemisphere.
Is that peaceful transition you talk about realistic?
Absolutely.
Why? If you have Juan Guaido's representative saying he's open to military intervention, and you have Maduro standing strong in his position as well.
I think that peaceful transition is absolutely possible. It is not only possible, it is essential. And that is what Canada and the Lima Group are working for.
Why? Why do you think it's possible?
Why are we working for it? Because
no,
it's
not at all.
obvious.
I'm asking, why do you think it's possible? I'm asking in all seriousness. When you see the stalemate that from the outside, I'm not there, but from the outside that we see Maduro tweeting and digging in his heels, the support of the military expressed towards him. Why do you think that transition is possible? At what point does the stalemate become untenable?
As when I myself was a reporter, one of the stories that was the most meaningful for me to cover was a lot of transitions from dictatorship to democracy. And I think the experience of the past, I guess I'm going to show my age now, but the experience of the past 30 years is that a people who are supported by the international community, who are acting in accordance with democratic principles, can absolutely accomplish a peaceful transition from dictatorship to democracy. That is what the people of Venezuela are working.
Okay, and I'm just going to stop her there because she really kind of meanders on. But the point is, she never gives an example. Never gives an example. So the people of Venezuela want a peaceful transition from this dictatorship to democracy. Mr. Dictator, could you please, these people would really like you to give up your power now. Thank you. Yes, I'm glad we could all see reason. What? And I mean, she's talking about sanctions. She's talking about all sorts of other stuff. But this fantasy of covering dictators who just walked away, like Gaddafi, there was no other option for him, right? We came, we saw, he died, I think is Hillary Clinton's quote. And I could find it, but I'm not going to right now. So it's I don't remember a lot of dictators saying, waving, maybe, is it Pope Benedict? Pope Emeritus Benedict, maybe that's one who just kind of waved and left, right? But I think maybe different circumstances. And he wasn't killing people en masse through hunger, etc. He was just, decided to retire. Can the Pope decide to retire? Sorry, that's an aside. So this is a terrible interview. I'm going to show you at 6:53, they start talking about Pompeo and U.S. military intervention, and this is the condescending kind of response from her. And sorry about the buffering on this video.
This issue, as we do on many other issues.
Has Secretary Pompeo conveyed that they are actually considering military intervention?
I think that's a question for you to ask Secretary Pompeo.
Has he conveyed to you? That's a question to you.
I discuss with Secretary Pompeo the Venezuela issue often. It's been one of our key subjects.
Have you discussed military intervention with him?
And we have a very effective partnership when it comes to Venezuela. And I think the participation of all the countries in our hemisphere, very much including the United States, is absolutely essential to a positive, peaceful, rule of law resolution of the situation in Venezuela.
Rule of law. We don't forget that. Don't forget, it's very important in Canada, rule of law. At 8 minutes, they start talking about the McCallum replacement and then Saudi Arabia and Kigosigi, etc. So it's an interesting interview. You should watch it all. But that's basically the way Minister Freeland answers questions. There's some things that she talks about and goes in depth about, but most often she goes off into little asides about how wonderful things were for 30 years while she was covering the war, and dictators just, waltzed away from their property, their countries, etc. Except that never happened and doesn't happen. Here's Raj Grewal doing a fact check. 285,000 was raised by the Brampton East Liberal Riding Association at the April 2018 fundraiser, #CanadaPoly. After expenses, approximately 250,000 remains in the Brampton East Liberal Riding Association account for the 2019 election, CanadaPoly. Yes, 1,200 people attended this event, but it was clearly stated that not everyone pays at these type of large fundraiser events. The event was also a rally and thank you dinner and was an invite to all local Liberals, #CanadaPoly. Why raise so much? The spending limit in 2015 campaign in Brampton East was approximately $220,000. Our goal was to be well prepared for a long campaign in 2019. #CanadaPoly. How does a South Asian backbench MP have such a successful fundraiser? Because he works hard for his constituents. He's an excellent organizer, and he's only held one fundraiser since 2014, which was also a huge success. #CanadaPoly. Lastly, all of my fundraising efforts are squarely within Elections Canada rules, and as always, this information will be publicly available. And somebody says, you can't actually fact check your own facts. And my question was not necessarily about the fundraiser, but Mr. Grewal, how do you raise millions of dollars from your friends and then gamble that money away through gambling addiction, right? At the casino that's thankfully right across the street from Queen's Park. Whew, good thing. Or maybe bad thing for your gambling addiction. But then, after you've gambled that millions of dollars away, how do you then go and hit up your friends or repay that money on an MP's salary? I'm asking for me. I don't even quite make what an MP makes. But if you can raise $1 million or a couple $1 million from your buddies, can you introduce me to your buddies or give me your system? Right? Because it doesn't seem very likely. It seems like most Canadians would have a hard time getting millions of dollars, even being well organized and having access to 12,000 people who are willing to spend $6,800 on a table to support the Liberals in your riding, right? It just seems a little fishy. So you've got on one side a professional organizing ability far beyond most other Liberals, and on the other side the ability to fundraise millions of dollars just like that. And totally legally above board. It's all traceable according to you. And I haven't looked. I don't do economic spreadsheets and stuff. I'm not an accountant or anything to that effect. So it would take me a while to get up to speed on what I'm looking at. I think I haven't tried. I don't know, but it's fishy to me. I would have a hard time raising $1 million. I would have a hard time placing $1 million bet or $500,000 bet or $25,000 bet. I think, yeah. To know that I was going to do another $25,000 bet with the goal of either winning $1 million or losing $1 million. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I've never been addicted to gambling. I did play poker, though. I enjoyed that. So those are my questions, Mr. Grewal. Do you want to fact check that? Would you like to come on my show and have a conversation with me about that? I'd love to have you. You are an independent MP, after all. You don't have to clear your media relations with the leader. So, sir, open invitation. I'll tag you in this. So that's this morning's show. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out the People's Party of Canada.ca and have a wonderful, wonderful day.